Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now this week, the biggest news on COVID was probably the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine emergency use authorization by the US FDA. Previously, I've already talked about the technology behind this vaccine and some of the safety and efficacy data. So instead of repeating myself again in this week's video, I've included those two videos linked in the description box down below. Now after you watch this video, if you have never watched those two videos, please check out those. So this week I would like to give a quick focus talk on the two coronavirus variants found in California and New York. If you are new to the channel, I'm Dr. Han. My goal for this channel is to connect everyone with scientific facts. This includes my regular COVID-19 update and other scientific topics. My idea is that if I can understand a topic, you can understand. So if you want to learn more about scientific facts, please consider subscribing to the channel. This channel needs your help to reach more people. So without further ado, let's dive into today's topic. So like I said at the beginning, today we are going to look at the two new variants found in the US, and let's look at what we know so far. First, a disclaimer, this video is my interpretation and summary of publicly available scientific information. This video does not serve as any intention to give guidance on treatment, diagnosis, and prevention of any diseases. And if I mention any commercial company in the video, I do not have affiliations with them. First, let's look at some of the background information. The first variant was called B1427 or /B1429. This variant actually have two forms, but they are very similar, so collectively we call them CalDoc20C or L452R. This variant was first detected in Southern California and was first emerged in July 2020. Another variant was called B1526. It was first detected in New York City through computer program analysis at Caltech. So today we are going to look at three main questions. The first one is, what are the spread rates of these two variants? And what are the mutations that is happening in these variants? And lastly, what are the implications we know so far? Fact number one, what are the spread rates? Let's first look at the California variants. By January 22nd, they account for 35% of all coronavirus strains in California and 44% of all samples in Southern California. They have been detected in at least 19 states and Washington, D.C. and 6 other countries. On the other side, for the New York variants, by mid-February, it accounts for between 15 to 27.8% of samples sequenced in New York. The two different numbers depending on what studies that you are looking at. In one study, they claim that from late December to mid-February, there is an alarming 12.3% increase in this variant got screened in the sample. Fact number two, what are the mutations that are in these two variants? Let's look at the California variants. There are 4 mutations on the spike protein, 3 of which are very concerning, and the most concerning one is called the L452R. It consists of changes from amino acid leucine to arginine at the position 452. It allowed the virus to bind tighter to cells and can also escape antibody treatments. On the other side, for the New York variants, there are actually many mutations happening on the spike protein, and at least 4 that are very concerning. The first one is the E484K, which is also a mutation found in South Africa variant. We know that it can reduce neutralizing antibodies from vaccines, and it can also make some antibody treatment less effective. The second mutation in the New York variant is called S477N. It has been shown to increase infectivity. And the third one is the D235G, which can also escape some antibodies. And the last one is the A701V, which is a mutation that is also shared with the South Africa variant. Now let's look at what are the implications of these mutations. Currently, there aren't a lot of implication information available in the scientific community. I'm only presenting what I can find so far. First, let's look at the California variant. It has been shown to be 3 times more infectious in laboratory report, and in a very small hospital study with 324 patients, both B1427 and B1429 appears to be 4 times more likely to cause ICU admission and 11 times more likely to cause patient to die. Now, it is very important to note the limitation of this study. It contained a very small sample size, and it makes it difficult to conclude the true pattern that is causing by these 2 forms of variants found in California. And on the other side, in New York variants, we know even less. Currently, there's very limited knowledge at this point, and it appears that older patients that with this mutation E484K that's found in this variant, it is more likely to go to emergency department and more likely to be admitted to the hospital. Let's look at the take-home message this week. Both California and New York variants are spreading very fast and are increasing. Some mutations in these 2 forms are similar to the South Africa variants, and in laboratories, mutant variants are more infectious. Currently, there is a worry that antibodies or antibody treatments in part are giving selective pressures on the virus and leading to more mutations to escape antibody treatment. Now, we will need more studies to examine these mutants' impact on transmission, disease progression, and vaccine efficacies. To learn more, here are the links that I used to gather information for today's presentation. Now, the first one, outbreak.info, actually is very useful to look at different variants and how much they are spreading on a very real-time basis. So which I highly suggest for those of you that are interested in looking at those information to click on that link and check it out yourself. So I hope you've learned a little bit more on the 2 new variants found in the US. Now, I will keep an eye on the latest scientific research and give an updated video as soon as there are more info on these 2 new variants. That's all for this week, and I'll see you again next Sunday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another video of COVID-related information. And please stay safe and healthy. Bye.